If you scroll through this year like every other year, you're going to regret it, and I'll tell you exactly why. Most people have no idea how important this year really is. They think it's just another year, another 12 months, another cycle of routines, distractions, and I'll start tomorrow. But years like this quietly decide the future of your life. The truth is simple. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, many people will look back at this moment and feel regret. Not because they failed, but because they never tried. Because they spent their time doing things that didn't move their life forward. They scrolled, they complained, they waited. And while they were waiting, the world kept moving. Opportunities kept appearing. Technology kept evolving. People kept building businesses, brands, and skills, but they stayed exactly where they were. Let me tell you something that most people don't want to hear. Regret is one of the most painful emotions a human being can experience. Not failure. Not rejection, regret. Because failure means you tried. Rejection means you took a risk. But regret means you never gave yourself a chance. And that feeling grows heavier every single year. You see, time has a strange way of exposing the truth. At first, wasting a day doesn't seem like a big deal. Wasting a week feels harmless. Even wasting a year can be easy to ignore. But when 5 years pass, when 10 years pass, when you suddenly realize you're the same person you were years ago, that's when regret hits hard. The scary thing about regret is that it arrives quietly. It doesn't show up immediately. It waits. It builds slowly in the background until one day you look at your life and wonder what could have been. And here's the truth about the year we're living in right now. The world is changing faster than ever before. Technology is evolving. Artificial intelligence is transforming industries. Social media is creating new careers. The creator economy is exploding. People are building businesses with nothing but a phone and internet connection. Opportunities that never existed before are suddenly everywhere. But most people are too distracted to notice. They're trapped in endless scrolling. Hours disappear every day, not learning, not building, just consuming, watching other people live the life they wish they had. And the dangerous part is that it feels normal. Everyone around them is doing the same thing. Scrolling during lunch, scrolling before bed, scrolling instead of working on their dreams. It feels harmless in the moment, but small habits create big outcomes. If you waste 3 hours a day scrolling, that's over 1,000 hours a year, 1,000 hours. Imagine what someone could build with 1,000 focused hours. They could learn a valuable skill, start a business, create hundreds of pieces of content, build a personal brand, develop knowledge that changes their entire career. But most people trade that time for entertainment. And the price they pay is their potential. If I could sit down with someone who is going to regret wasting this year, I would tell them one thing. Your future is not decided by luck. It's decided by daily actions. Tiny decisions repeated over and over again. The decision to learn instead of scroll. The decision to create instead of complain. The decision to try instead of waiting for the perfect moment. Success is rarely about one big moment. It's about small choices made consistently. But consistency is hard because progress is slow in the beginning. When you start learning a new skill, you feel terrible at it. When you start building something, nobody notices. When you start posting content, nobody watches. That early stage is where most people quit. They think the lack of immediate results means they're failing. But that's not failure. That's the process. Every successful person you admire went through that invisible phase. Years of effort when nobody was paying attention. Years of mistakes, experiments, and learning. The difference between people who succeed and people who regret wasting their time is not talent. It's patience. Patience to keep going when progress feels slow. Patience to stay focused when distractions are everywhere. Patience to trust the process long enough for momentum to build. Because momentum is powerful. At first, progress is almost invisible. Then suddenly everything accelerates. Skills compound. Opportunities appear. Confidence grows. But you only reach that stage if you refuse to quit early. Another reason many people will regret wasting this year is comparison. Social media has created a dangerous habit. People compare their everyday life to someone else's highlight reel. They see someone else's success and feel discouraged. They think they're behind. But what they don't see are the years of work behind that success. They only see the results, not the struggle, not the failures, not the sleepless nights. Comparison destroys motivation. It convinces people that success is impossible for them. So instead of trying, they give up before they even start. But the truth is, everyone starts somewhere. Every expert was once a beginner. Every successful entrepreneur was once unknown. Every creator with millions of followers once posted content that nobody watched. Progress takes time, but time will pass anyway. The question is simple. Will you use it or waste it? Because the year will end whether you work hard or not. 12 months will pass whether you learn new skills or stay the same. The only difference will be who you become during that time. 5 years from now, there will be two kinds of people. Those who use these years to build something meaningful, and those who spent these years wishing they had started earlier. Regret always sounds the same. I wish I started sooner. I wish I didn't waste so much time. I wish I believed in myself. Don't let that be your story, because the future is built right now in the choices you make today, in the actions you take today, in the courage you show today. And the truth is, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. Start learning, start building, start creating, start improving. Small steps taken consistently are far more powerful than waiting for the perfect moment, because the perfect moment doesn't exist. Only action exists. And the people who take action today are the ones who will look back years later with pride instead of regret. The truth is, most people don't lose their future in one big mistake. They lose it in small moments. Moments that seem insignificant. Moments where they say, I'll do it tomorrow. Moments where they choose comfort over growth. Moments where they decide that entertainment is easier than effort. And those moments add up day after day, week after week, year after year, until suddenly time is gone. You see, time is the one resource nobody can get back. You can lose money and earn it again. You can lose opportunities and create new ones. But time, once it passes, it's gone forever. That's why people who succeed understand something very important. They treat time like the most valuable asset they have. They protect it. They invest it. They respect it. But most people treat time like it's unlimited. They waste hours every day doing things that don't move their life forward. Scrolling through social media, watching endless videos, complaining about problems they never try to solve, waiting for motivation to magically appear. And the problem with waiting for motivation is that motivation is unreliable. Some days you'll feel motivated. Most days you won't. The people who build great lives are not the ones who feel motivated every day. They are the ones who take action even when they don't feel like it. Discipline beats motivation every time. Discipline is what shows up when excitement disappears. Discipline is what keeps you going when progress feels slow. Discipline is what separates people who dream from people who achieve. And here's something else most people don't realize. Success rarely looks glamorous while you're building it. It looks boring. It looks repetitive. It looks like doing the same small tasks over and over again, learning, practicing, improving, failing, trying again. The outside world sees the final result, but they never see the quiet hours behind it, the late nights, the early mornings, the moments of doubt, the moments where you question everything. That's the part nobody talks about, but that's the part that matters the most. Another reason many people will regret wasting this year is fear. Fear is one of the most powerful forces holding people back. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of looking foolish, fear of trying something and realizing they're not good at it yet. But here's the irony. The fear of starting often creates the very regret people are trying to avoid. Because when people don't act on their ideas, when they ignore their potential, when they stay silent instead of creating, they slowly start believing they're incapable of more. Not because it's true, but because they never tested themselves. Confidence is not something you wait for. Confidence is something you build through action. Every time you try something new, you gain experience. Every time you fail, you gain knowledge. Every time you continue despite difficulty, you gain strength. And that strength compounds over time. The world rewards people who are willing to learn in public, to create even when they're not perfect, to take risks when others stay comfortable. In today's world, the internet has made opportunity accessible to almost anyone. A person with a phone can build a personal brand. A person with knowledge can share it online. A person with creativity can reach millions of people. But most people still treat the internet like pure entertainment. They watch, they consume, they observe other people building success, but they never participate. They never create. And that's where the biggest regret begins. Because deep down, they know they could be doing more. They know they have ideas. They know they have potential. But potential means nothing without action. Potential is like a seed. If you never plant it, never water it, never care for it, it never grows. And years later, you look at your life and wonder what might have happened if you had simply started. The good news is that it's not too late. It's never too late to start improving your life. But the earlier you begin, the more time you give yourself to grow. That's why this year matters, because the habits you build this year will shape the direction of your future. If you spend this year learning new skills, your knowledge will grow. If you spend this year creating content, your voice will grow. If you spend this year building something meaningful, your opportunities will grow. Growth compounds over time, just like money compounds when it's invested. Effort compounds too, but wasted time compounds as well. Years of distraction create years of regret. Years of discipline create years of opportunity. The choice is always yours. And here's the reality most people don't want to hear. Nobody is coming to save you. No one is going to knock on your door and hand you your dream life. No one is going to magically fix your habits or force you to chase your goals. Your future belongs to you. And that's actually empowering because it means you have control. Control over how you spend your time, control over what you learn, control over what you build, control over the person you become. And the moment you truly understand that, everything changes. You stop waiting for permission. You stop waiting for perfect conditions. You stop waiting for someone else to believe in you first. You start moving, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's uncertain, even when it's slow, because progress is always better than standing still. Remember this, years from now, the pain of discipline will feel small compared to the pain of regret. The extra hours you spent learning, the effort you invested in building something, the courage you showed when things were difficult, all of that will feel worth it. But the time you wasted doing nothing, that's the part that will haunt you. That's the part people wish they could change, but they can't, because time only moves forward. And the future is built one day at a time, one decision at a time, one action at a time. So the question you must ask yourself is simple. When this year ends, will you be proud of how you spent it, or will you wish you had done more? The answer depends entirely on what you decide to do today, right now, in this moment. Because the future is not created someday. It's created today.